Okay, you can hear me. Okay, couple of housekeeping jobbies. All by myself, Carolyn, all by myself, I am saying silence your cell phones. All by myself without being told that. That's right.
Oh, is that what they're saying?
Don't make me sing again.
Okay, and the other thing is, it is a new year with the senior center, and they require this form to be filled out, which takes, I don't know, 8 seconds. And it's pretty much just a signature, but it releases them of liability should you not make it out alive, okay?
So that's every year or one time when you join?
Every year.
Every year.
I am going to have Wendy pass it out. Thank you. Okay, when you are done with this, where is Sue? Is Sue, okay, Sue, do you want us to put them in a pile up here at the desk?
Yeah, that might be easy.
Okay, so when you are finished at the break, put your filled out paperwork here on top of mine, because mine's already filled out. Do you see? It's like nothing to fill out. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay, that's that one. Okay, that said, I would like to introduce Fab. Fab, what is your first full name?
Fabian.
Oh, it's Fabian. Not Fabian, Fabian.
Yeah.
Zawa,
So,
Zoa. And Dobkowski?
Dobkowski.
Okay.
Close enough.
Otherwise,
You didn't get any of them right. 0 points. 0 points.
I practiced. See, I put the whole thing out there. Anyway, we call her Fab. We who love her call her Fab. And she is one of us. And that's really cool because she is a photographer extraordinaire. She's going to be sharing her experience from the Artist Highlights series that was held at the MACC in the Art Gallery in Rancho Cordova last September. And I am going to just turn it over to you, Fab, so you can explain the program. The program. Okay. Here's Fab.
Hold on.
All right.
I gotta change over.
This should go somewhere.
Did you turn yours off?
There we go.
There we
It's
go.
on.
There we go.
Fab, can we hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me here today. I'm super excited. I have been a PA member. Am I hard to hear?
There.
Oh, that's getting better.
Let's try that again.
Is that better? Yeah? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I have been a PA member since the pandemic. When was it? 2000?
2019, 2020, somewhere right in there.
Yeah. And I jumped right into it at the time to help with the programs. And here I am presenting at the program for the first time. But for multiple personal reasons, I can no longer hold on to that position. So here we have our wonderful replacement for this year. So thank you for inviting me, and I thought it may be interesting for the group to present an experience that I had last year at the MACC, like Kathy said, where I had the opportunity to present what we call, they organize every month a artist spotlight, and it's the chance for an artist or a group of artists, right, Matt? You chose several artists to present last year, around central theme, and for me it was just one artist, myself, around one theme, which is celebrating 25 years in California. And I took this opportunity to reflect on what that means. When I was actually invited to create this, given that opportunity, our political spectrum hadn't changed much, but by the time I got to present, to showcase my work, a lot of things had happened in, not necessarily in California, but in the United States. And part of having lived 25 years in California was also earning my citizenship as an American citizen in 2007. So because I had been in the United States since 1993, on and off, and in California for 25 years. So that was a very big moment, because if you reflect on a quarter of a century, what does that mean in your lifetime? I am 57 today, so if you make the math... no, not today, sorry. This year, I am 57. Of old.
Okay, this audience takes you literally.
Yeah, they did. Sorry. I am 57, so if you make, and was 56 when I was working on this show, so if you make the math, what does that mean in your lifetime? So who are you as a person? So I took this opportunity to reflect on that and use the term landscape as a physical term, but also metaphorical term, and to reflect on this quarter century, but also almost half of my life. And as a matter of fact, most of my adult life in California. So reflecting on that, I created several pieces that are more conceptual pieces that present this idea of who are we in terms of the landscape of an identity when we are spending so much of our time in a country where we were not born and raised. So the first piece that I created was a assemblage, collage of the different layers that if you think about an identity, what is it to begin with? Well, we all have a passport and an ID card, and that's where it starts. That's who you are in terms of an entity for others, right? So you have in the background here the black, yellow, reddish that you see totally in the background, which is the Belgium flag. So that's where I was born and raised. But being born and raised in Belgium very quickly became part of a bigger entity, which was the European Union. And that you have the flag that represents what is now the European community, which it was a transformation throughout my life living there, because it allowed, once the Schengen agreement passed, it allowed people from Belgium to work suddenly in Spain, in Italy, at the time in England. Now England got itself out of the Union, and slowly that sense of people being able to move across borders grew bigger and bigger. So you start your life, your identity as a Belgian citizen, and then you become bigger than yourself. Then eventually I moved to the United States, and I become even bigger than myself within the United States. And I settled in California and become, what am I today? Am I a California girl? And I am a California girl. I declared myself a California girl the first day and the only day I actually served. I decided that was neutralization, and that was it. But that day I was officially a California girl. So what does that mean, and who comes depending on situations, all right? Something else that really defined me being in California is I came with a 12-month-old. She just had turned 1 year when we landed at SFO, and pregnant with 6 months pregnant with my son. What defined me also to be in California was not all the spectrum of what I was and would become within 25 years, but it was also the landscape of motherhood. For anyone that's a parent here or has been a parent by marriage, we all know how much children in our lives change our life. We become someone else. So that landscape became a 24/7. So I kind of created this collage here and instead of having representation of my children, I looked at the 25 years that made us within California and chosen, because landscape in California is really what drives me. I love California for its climate, what it has to offer, the variety, the diversity of its landscape precisely. So I chose to represent the different places we have been together, that we can I can snap a memory and we just see that place. Both my son, both my daughter, and also the animals that we have met together or that came into our lives, such as our cats or dogs and so on and so forth. So it's different parts of California, some parts that speak more to us than others. And one thing that, as a matter of fact, has always been present anywhere I've been in the United States, and that's something very different than growing up as a Belgian or a European, is a pool. Pools are everywhere in the United States. You are in a motel, there is a pool. You are in a condo, there's going to be a pool. You own your house, you can find a community pool nearby. Very often outdoors, which I love. And so a pool has always been, and most of my children are swimmers. This one in high school, competitively, and then my son actually was an athlete swimmer in college. So I kind of created this landscape of motherhood on how I perceive it. It's beyond the picture of my children, it's really the memories of us throughout this 25 years in California. But you create at home, in your little sphere, you receive, I want to talk also what it means to create a show, a solo show. You receive a map of how things can be. You print that map out.
The dog made the coffee stain.
No, I made a coffee stain coming here right now, actually. Sorry about that. But so that was the map. I'm like so excited, and I have notes. I'm gonna have this piece here, this piece there, and everything is mapped out, and I'm ready to go. Except what you do not really realize when you are being given a map is that, and I've been at the MACC. I'm there every year for MACC Open Studio. I have also done the Winterfest 1 year. I mean, so I know the space. You'd say, I'm prepared. But what the map doesn't say, and what you never paid attention to, is where do you have those little things that you can hang your work from? Because some of the walls don't. Or some of the walls have a big light or have electrical outlet. So you're coming with your little things to hang, and you can start to plan B, because I had planned this way. And this is what happened. Plan B. Because other pieces could not fit, and I then therefore had to rework this in a way that the fun part of having a solo show is that you also can come with other pieces that don't relate necessarily to your show and sell them in little niches. like this one, we had these bookcases where I could present more than what was on the walls. But the narrative of what was on the walls is around the landscape, metaphorical or physical. So that's one first example of when I had to rethink how to organize this particular piece. So when you move to a new country, when you move to a new state like California, where, as a young adult, you also come with your own values, and you will be introduced to new values. You will be introduced to new way of life, new way of thinking, those values. There is, though, a value and a common ground that link most of, all of European countries and the United States, which is the concept of democracy. And it comes with 3 branches in every single one of those countries, which, and as I kind of like was going through a little moment, I did find that in both sides of both continents, as a matter of fact, that concept has been eroding over the years. We see rises of extreme rights in Europe, young people coming out that have never known fascist government, like in Spain or in Italy, suddenly embracing the ideal that someone like Franco wasn't that bad after all. And we can see in the United States that the notion of democracy is also being challenged in unprecedented ways. So I created this piece quite a while ago with that idea in mind. It was in 2022 that I created this piece, but it was already lingering. And I felt that it fit into what I was expressing during that show of who I was and what my 25 years in California I represented. And this is a scene, it is actually a physical landscape, but that embodied the 3 branches of democracy and the way I felt when I was creating the show. This piece here is a play on words. I will talk about that in a minute, about what those play on words mean. Over the years also, something that has, for me, who came freely in this country and came without necessarily economic needs like some people do, there is definitely something that in the United States in general, and the goods travel freely. But there is definitely a sense that we are not looking the same way at people. Yet behind those goods that travel freely, this is a picture of a container boat leaving the harbor of San Francisco. And the goods that are traveling through these freight ships, container ships that are coming and going, there are goods, but behind those goods, there are people producing them on each side of the borders that are actually. So I had, for a very long time, collected a little bit, not knowing what I was going to do with them, but the Topo Chico, because I just kind of like that. It's a brand that we are drinking, of sparkling water that we are drinking at home. And I then ordered, because I do not drink Coca-Cola, just for health reasons, not because I don't like it. And I ordered on Etsy some vintage Coca-Cola, for whatever you want to call it, that you can just buy. And I created this piece that kind of like was mirroring this idea of what is really behind a good, what is behind a container, what is a border, really. And the goods that are, and the people that are behind the ones that are creating. So that was my landscape of value as well, so reflecting on that, and where do I stand within this 25-year span of living in California. You may or may not know, but I'm an art historian by trade. My field of specialty is the history of modern architecture, and I teach the history of art and humanities courses at college level, and I am therefore very informed. These pieces are very informed of what has been created already in the past, and the dialogue that some artists have taken, and I created a lot this piece that is here on the right hand side in the aftermath of some personal stand on the history of art. It's a play on word here, shedding the light on l'origine du monde, the origin of the world. We have a work that was created in the 19th century by a realistic artist called L'origine du monde, the origin of the world, that represents a woman. You don't see her face, you don't see her full length. She's, we assume, laying down, and we see her vagina. It was a realistic piece made by a male artist, and
You can't show that at the government center?
no, that's why I didn't put it. So that's why I figured that I could not. So it's not here, but it has really gotten a lot of, in the feminist view of the history of art, backlash, because it's just represented on its own without a male counterpart. Well, you can't have one without the other. That's number one. And if we think about it, where does the world really start? Where does the humankind really start? So I created this work that kind of like had an assemblage of miniatures that really started in the 18th century, and then a sculpture of a African woman, kind of like shedding the light on her. And in the 18th century, it's called the Enlightenment era. So I kind of like play with that concept here, also as where I stand with my value as an art historian, as a person who teaches the history of art and has to talk about this picture and where I stand. So this is kind of like a play, and the play on words. So if you know or don't know, Surrealism, and the artist René Magritte is Belgian. And so I am very much following his trend here with play on words and depiction, so that what you see is not necessarily what you read, and how these words are, how he was playing with that. And so that's how you like what I played with Sans Frontières, without borders, or shedding light on l'origine du monde, really stems from how he played with time transfix, for instance, where you had the train going through a chimney that has a clock. Trains are always on time. It was an era where really industrialization was coming at its peak. Then you have l'Empire des Lumières, the Empire of Light, where you had gas light, then electrical light that became predominant in art, and so where he plays with light and shadow. So he definitely was my inspiration in when I created those pieces, where the words and what is represented may not necessarily make sense to everybody, but has a connotation within a cultural environment. So that's where my environment came from. So when I said values also, when I moved to the United States, I never contemplated having having women's rights reevaluated, and it turns out that it was also a year when that came on the political spectrum, when my daughter moved to Boston to go to college. And it was a shock to me to see that maybe if she had accepted in other states where she was also my daughter got a full scholarship to go to college, but if she had accepted in other states, she may have faced a different spectrum than the one that we have still in California and in Massachusetts or other states. So I felt that that was part of being and that concept of the value of where in the landscape of values, where do I stand when I am here 25 years in California. But then there is also a lot of good things in the landscape of love, where what does that mean and what does love mean? And I just happen to have a wonderful husband who cooks every day for us. Well, he used to cook for my children and I. We met in 2008, so he has been quite a long time for us in our lives, with my life in California. And I regularly take pictures of the meals that he creates for us. So I thought that the landscape of love is these intangible things that we experience every day, but that is not necessarily something that we think about a dinner meal every night. So I created this piece that kind of like could be infinite because I have a lot more pictures, but there's just that much as I could put into one piece. And there again, one of these moments where I had it all planned out, and when I got there, it was supposed to be horizontal, and when I got there, I did not have a space to put it, so I found a different spot than what I had on my map, and it kind of looked really dull against that wall, because it was just a white against a beigeish wall. And I am putting everything together, and a little miracle happened. I don't know who was here when GR came and made her presentation on the glass art. Anyone? Raise your hands.
J.R. Serba, most of you saw it.
Right?
Yeah.
2-3 years ago already.
Yep.
JR, come upstairs. She worked for the Rancho Cordova, city of Rancho Cordova. It was her last 2 days, and she says, "Hey, how can I help?" Well, there you go. What are we gonna do with this piece? Doesn't look, and she sees in my boxes holding all my pieces these red pieces of paper that are actually holding or separating the paper in my boxes. She says, "Oh, but try it like that." And there it is. And there she created something that, with me, like we played around, and it became, and that's hanging now in my kitchen.
Nice.
As l'oeuf du jour, play on word again. In French we call le plat du jour, which is the dish you would go to a restaurant and you like the special, you know, when you have a special. So that became l'oeuf du jour, and it was a last minute addition on how to exhibit it in a better way. So you need to be prepared to just think things through. I also thought through the landscape of friendship, because when you move like that, you leave people behind, and within 25 years, people come in and come out. And if it wasn't for social media, well, most likely my friends would be very limited, especially now that I live in a very remote little environment, like cool. You know, you don't meet that many people. But thanks to social media, you keep in touch. But what does that mean? So your friendship hang in the cloud somewhere, because it's in a cloud that you can access, thanks to the cloud that you can access through that technology. And then I thought, well, instead of having people represent people here again, just like with my children in the landscape of motherhood, said, what ties my friendship? What turned us into become friends? And sometimes it's grief or I remember them because I met them at or it could be all the Christmas we had together, because when you are an expat, typically you don't necessarily have Christmas with your family. You have it with your extended family, your friends become. It can be, some people I go and have a drink. It can be hard, like we have today. I hope some of you consider yourself my friend, right? And today, thanks to technology, I have access to my friends 365 days. So you have 365 that are in white, that I create as a number, with the icon, like you have like the portrait that you have, whether it's on all social media, more or less, right? Which is around icon. And so that's what I thought through as the landscape of friendship. That's really what it has become in my life, right? So that was one part of it. But there again, it ain't gonna happen the way I planned it. This MACC lied to me. It's a liar. So I gotta have to think plan B and go this way instead of that way. But it's still read 365 and it still works and it's fine. So, another approach to the landscape that I said, what really mesmerized me is the beauty of California. It's the diversity of its landscape and what you can feel. But what really also, and that really was probably more predominant since I moved up in the foothills and I was able to discover the Desolation Wilderness and go to Yosemite a lot more than I had done before, and Tahoe. Everywhere I go, I find that humankind has left its mark, has somehow also organized the landscape for its own benefits. So one of my favorite places, I don't know if you guys have ever been, it's called Loon Lake. I am so in love with that lake because it's so quaint. You're in the mountains, you feel you can touch them, yet you're in beautiful nature. And they did a really good job because it's two lakes that they created into one to create power. It's a power plant. So you're going there and you see two dams. I did not anticipate that. The beauty of that though, because it's a power plant, is they plow all year long ice house road. Yes.
The ice road, yeah.
Yeah, so that you can access it and you can go and snowshoe there all year long. It's really beautiful. So I called, just like I said, power to the people 1 and 2, because it's two views of the lake and of the two lakes and one together. Again, so to represent the Anthropocene. Once again, they were meant to be next to each other. They didn't have anything to hang. I had to review. They were on top of each other, but it worked fine. So same thing when this was taken driving down 5. You drive 5, you see these incredible hills, but in between you're going to see all these power plants, gigantic power plants going through. So somewhere hidden in here, even when you don't see it, we are present. Our footprint is present. Same thing at Yosemite. They're part of the park, and pushing it a little bit further, it impacts also nature. So here I kind of played around with the rest in peace, how we perceive animals. Last year was the first year where California had voted that you can no longer farm octopuses in California. We are the second state to have chosen that because it has been discovered that they have a level of intelligence and sensory parts of their body. I'm not exactly really sure why, but that we should no longer farm it. We can still consume it in California, but you can't farm it anymore. So if you are aware of the fact that crows are extremely intelligent animals. They use their beak as a tool, and there has been multiple books that have explained how they use their beak as a tool, where they will put rocks into spaces so that the water rises so that they can drink. So I just thought it was but appropriated to call it the smart tool in the shed, and so play around that concept also of the Anthropocene and how we perceive ourselves and nature and animals and our role into animals. So there, when you are actually creating a solo show, you need to talk about yourself. You need to think that through also, make sure that it fits into a piece of paper that they will be able to put on the wall. And so there's a lot of things you need to think about the titles, how you want them, and labeling your work. So all that is part of the concept of creating a solo show that's behind you. Within that concept of the Anthropocene, one thing that I really have been totally mesmerized about is discovering the wide variety of wildflowers that we have in California. Mostly my pictures are from Northern California, and I've created a new series where I isolate them against a neutral background in nature, and I've created this series where I give them the identification, a little bit like botanical art, but being photography to start. So I ended up putting them on the back wall, which was not my intention to begin with either, but that was part of that whole concept of being 25 years in California and being really literally mesmerized is really the word, but the variety of wildflowers that we have and how gorgeous they are and how they come back every year. So with this said, I also felt that there is a, that yin and yang that hangs in all of us. I am definitely, clearly a nature person, but at the same time I am a human, and I do leave my own footprint, and I do love pets who leave their own footprints, who do their own damages. The cats that came with the house I live in today eat birds. They can't help themselves even though they are fed. And I had for the longest time, this desire to represent that ambivalence inside of me. So I, at the most biggest surprise to my husband, I didn't really understand what I was doing, collected all these cat food cans that we feed and created this piece, which is here, and that was also a second thanks to JR, because she's the one that assembled it all together. It was supposed to go on the back where all the flowers were, except that the glue wasn't holding properly. First I wanted to rope them, and it turns out that going with a drill through these cans did not work, so I had to think plan B. She helped me. She went to Home Depot, get those tiles cut here, glue them all together, but they weren't holding very well, so they could not sit on the wall. So we got them, and they are presenting Head Shake Omo, Behold the Man, the concept of, well, that's basically who I stand within this landscape. A lot of question, a lot of love, and what can I do to maintain this beautiful landscape, but at the same time, this duality of, well, am I not going to have pets anymore? I don't think so. Am I not going to own a car? Well, then I can't live in cool because that becomes hard to sustain myself. And so this whole realization of where we stand, and because I think that we all stand at that crossroad in environmental sustainability is constantly part of our concerns, I think, right? And so you can see here, that was I think I can have it work, let's see, yes. That was the cleaning of those boxes in the bathtub. That came with, and then they're glued here, right, on all these different panels. Thanks to GR again, because I really wanted that piece to be there, because I felt that it concluded the entire concept, the landscape of self, of where I stand within those 25 years, and it would not have happened. But also a lot of my perspectives have been informed from where I spent 20 years in California, which is on the other side of San Francisco, Marin County. And I will then conclude with that by saying that there again, Plan B, C, all alphabet. I had wonderful frames that were supposed to hold these large pieces, but they were not holding properly on the hooks that they had. It was extremely difficult to get them square. So I took the frames off, kept the mat, and then went with a creative. That's why we're artists. We are just, thinking out of the box, and use magnet frames that I set with what do you call it? It stick on the walls.
Command strip?
Command strips, and we had those pieces set like that on the walls. Believe it or not, 2 weeks later was MACC Open Studio, and everybody wanted those frames. So I sold these pieces, and I sold this particular piece. Oops, sorry. Okay. This piece with those frames. That person wanted that, and is now hanging in Carmichael with that type of framing, because you never know. The unplanned creates a sale. Yes, and so there, you never know what happened, what will happen. But so there, so that was my journey behind looking into how living in California for 25 years, using the landscape, metaphorical and physical, that I've experienced. So, any questions at this point?
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah.
Along that theme of you never know,
Yeah.
on ABC, do you recall, a year ago or so, in an art gallery, a banana hanging on the wall?
Uh-huh.
And it sold
Uh-huh.
for like, I think, $1 million. I mean, it sold for a tremendous amount. So with your thought and theory, how did that happen? What plan was that? I mean, there was a banana on the wall.
With duct tape.
With duct, it was, yeah, it was crisscrossed and it was duct taped.
So was it an internet? I read about it, and quite frankly, I didn't really pay attention. I wasn't really at my best at the time, and it kind of.
It was an
But-
auction,
but-
and there was a bidding war.
There was.
Yeah,
there were- and
if
it
it was
sold.
if it was an intentional artwork, so a creation that was created, it's just the similar statement that Duchamp, when he put a urinal in an art gallery in 1922, 24, 14.
A urinal on the wall in an art gallery?
Yeah.
Uh-huh,
Over a century ago, though,
yeah.
right? And the statement was that it's whatever an artist decides to say it's an artwork is an artwork. So that concept has been going on forever. That's why I didn't look into it, because it's just nothing it's over a century old as a concept. So if somebody wants to buy it because it likes that concept, and if the artist had a statement that goes with it, it's totally valid. I have no problem with that. Would I have bought it?
Well, you know, as I recall, it was very yellow, which meant it was very fresh.
Well, and then the guy ate it from what I
Yeah,
understand.
that's what I hear.
Yeah. So Fab, I have a question, and I know the answer, but I think it would be nice to inform them. How did you apply for and get this solo show with the MACC?
They have the application. Do you remember? She sends an email.
I talked with Cheryl at the MACC, at the MACC during the Motherload show while I was a greeter. And she asked me if I was interested, and I said, yeah.
So Matt did a brain injury show, and Fab did the one that she just talked to you about. This past fall, Cheryl actually circulated an email asking people to apply if they were interested in a solo show next year. And she'll do 10 or 12 of these. And so if you are not a member of Rancho Cordova Art Association and you're interested in perhaps something like this for yourself in the future, you'll want to join and get their newsletter, so you'll be in on these emails when Cheryl
Right.
sends this out.
So yeah, so the number one condition, you need to be a member of the community of the MACC. You need to submit your plan, what you will present. You need.
You don't have to do the sketch on the wall with the coffee on it, just a general, how many pieces you'll be bringing, what type they'll be, that
Yeah,
kind of
well,
thing.
your statement,
Yeah.
what's the point of you wanting to do that? Because the thing is that, and then you need to be willing also to have an artist talk. With
Yes.
some artists, really, for them, it's an issue. Because Cheryl organizes this as an opportunity for artists to really graduate into, once you are able to have a cohesive body of work, something that will from A to Z talk, it's a storyline, then you really are graduating to a different level. You're just not creating. You understand what is beyond your creation. And go ahead.
No, go ahead and finish up that.
No, and so that like I was going to talk about you. You had a vision of what
Yeah.
you wanted to create, and it was a cohesive story about what it was not your entire life. Some people may want to get their entire life work, right? But typically when you have a solo show, it's a body of work that is cohesive, that speaks within a storyline.
And I think the story adds a lot to your possibilities of being selected.
Yeah.
But not just, I've done this art and this is what I would put up there, but the story that you have behind that will push Cheryl in your direction. Fab's story was one that
Absolutely.
Cheryl really liked, and Matt's as well. And we're very thrilled to have had two PA artists with solo shows at the MACC in the last year.
I was gonna say, they only have about 6 of these artist spotlights a year, because there are months when they have other things going on in the MACC. For example, in November, we have the Motherload show.
Right.
There's no time for an artist spotlight during that month.
Then there is the big auction that's going on.
That's right,
That's
they
another
have
one.
several other things. They have a student show that goes on in the.
And then they're closed also sometimes.
Yes, and,
Yeah.
but, there are opportunities for at least six a year.
Yeah.
I talked to Cheryl in November of 2023 for a March of 2025 show. So she scheduled these things out. She's already got all of 2025 scheduled.
Totally.
2026.
For 2026, may still be open, but,
No, she's picked them now.
she's already got the
No,
20.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, same thing here.
2027.
Yeah.
The 2020, I was thinking it was 2025 still.
Yeah, for me it was same thing. It was between 23 and 24
Yes.
that, and originally I was not gonna do this show. I was gonna do about the elephant seals that I have been monitoring for the last 7 years, but I wanted to do it in March, and so she said I have another one in March, so I will maybe hopefully be able to, but also it wasn't really because the space is divided, the walls are divided, and I wanted to create pieces that would project on the wall, where people would be projecting themselves on the wall with my pieces. That the MACC the upstairs doesn't work very well for that show either. But so just it's not as easy as, because there is limited space. But if you are interested, if you feel like you have something that you want to work on, because it is a really good exercise as an artist. It is really a rite of passage, I'm going to say, to do that. It makes you look into art and create with a different perspective, and putting pieces together and rethinking as you are going. It's like, okay, this is going to work. Okay, I know.
And this needing to go plan A, plan B, plan C, it will happen to you if you're hanging a solo show in a hair salon. Right, Carolyn? You plan it and then you have to change it when you get there to whatever works.
Yeah.
Carolyn and I have both done solo shows at a hair salon, and Fab has done it at a hair salon, and the same thing happens. So anytime you're going to do a solo show, you have to be ready with your alternative thinking, and don't melt down when it happens, because it's going to happen.
You're here.
But it's a great experience. I really would encourage anyone that feels that, because it doesn't need to be at the MACC. It can be an experience that you just want to do for yourself, you know, and take an opportunity, maybe at your local cafe, or
The Green Room Social Club has a
Green Room
different
Social Club, yeah.
artist every month.
yeah. I mean, there's other opportunities to do it, but you need to budget it also, because let's face it, frames that works, that you know, that will hang, that those are not cheap. So you need to budget that. Yeah, I mean, it is really a different process as an artist. I really recommend it if you are. Any other questions?
Thank you, Fab.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it goes so far beyond being a photographer.
Hold on, we don't have you yet.
I don't know.
It's on, but.
Am I on?
Oh, there we go.
No, it's just, it goes so far beyond being a photographer. You put ideas together, you work with a computer for different images. It's just amazing. But I do have to say, I love the way those French words just roll off your tongue. Oh my God. But do I understand you speak 5 languages?
Yes.
Yeah. Coming from Europe, you know, but oh gosh, that le original. I can't even begin. Okay, so let's take a break, you guys.
I wanted to make an announcement. I've got the list up there for people to fill out when they want to bring refreshments during this next.
Okay, okay, we're back. Can I get another whoopee?
Woohoo!
Whoopee! Okay. A bit of sad news. I don't know if any of you know Jack Neeson, one of our members. He died.
No way.
Yeah, he died, I'm thinking maybe 3-4 days ago.
Oh my gosh, I thought he
Yes.
just had an accident.
I am just so sorry.
Oh my gosh.
No particulars, he died. And so Jack, I know that he tried, Carolyn, wasn't he entering the member show in October?
He set the show, but he didn't enter.
Oh, he set the show. He was going to, and the piece didn't show up, but he did set the show.
And he helped at the county fair.
Okay, he was active. He was in his 80s. Not that that's old, but I just, it's sad. It is very sad, one of our own.
There'll probably be a memorial at the end of the month. We'll try to keep you all posted on that.
Everybody hear that, of maybe a memorial at the end of the month? Okay, what I'd like to do, Tracy.
There's actually a service for him.
Oh, there is a service.
Yes. On the 27th.
27th of January?
I think it's a February. At Green Valley Mortuary.
Oh, okay.
So it's gonna be.
In Cameron Park, right on Green Valley Road, okay. Okay. What I'd like to do is bring up Paul, because Paul's here. Paul
You asked me
Yandell,
after the break.
Paul Yandell and Wendy Scarlett are chair and co-chair of the upcoming, it's gonna be in September, the studio tour, but it's never too early to start, okay? So I'm asking Paul to come up and just maybe talk about the first meeting. Come on
Thank
up,
you.
Paul.
Thanks. I'm getting over a cough, so you may lose me halfway through. We're gonna have the launch party, if you will, on the 21st. It's the third Wednesday of the month, but we're gonna have it at our house. There were some problems getting our location at Rayleigh's this next year, and I said, let's just try it at our house and see how it works. So Sarah's a pretty good cook. She'll have some nibblers, and it'll be fun if you want to come. I understand a few people have contacted me that have not been involved of late, so that'll be fun. I might have a different group this year. We had a great year last year in the tour, and we learned a lot, and we hope to use that as a springboard moving forward. In this first meeting, we'll really be looking at team formation, who's interested, what skills do you have or do you want to bring to bear, what are you interested in, so we can sort of divide up responsibilities and subgroups, if you will. We'll be looking a lot at of what our goals are for the next year. We'll be sharing both your personal goals and then goal setting for the team. And we'll look at the calendar, and that calendar events is going to trigger some must-haves, as far as when we have to get certain things going. So Wendy and I have been working together on a more detailed agenda. We'll send that out. If you don't know where I live, I was in the last year's flyer for the tour. It's Tour Stop 10, so you can find me there, or through the roster that's online. Okay?
Still on the webpage.
Yeah, it's still on the webpage, so you can find me. Okay? In Cameron Park. It should be easy to find.
September 21st.
September 21st at noon.
Wait a minute, September or January?
Oh, sorry.
See, here I am repeating what she says.
January 21st.
It's January, okay.
Yeah, January 21st. So we'll have the first meeting, and then we'll sort of see how it goes from there. But I look forward to seeing a number of you there, and perhaps some other people who are not in this meeting.
And
Okay?
Paul, that's at 1?
At 12 o'clock.
Oh, at
Noon.
12.
Yeah. That's why we'll have some dimples around, because it's kind of a tough time. Okay?
Okay,
Sounds
Any
good, Paul.
questions or observations? Okay. See you there. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you, Paul.
And we'll
Thank you,
be
Wendy.
blasting the application out after we look at it in January. So I'm not sure when, I need to get the blast 2 weeks before, it'll be sometime in early February.
I'm sorry, a blast?
Blast the application
Oh, the
to
application.
participate in the studio tour.
Okay.
Will be coming soon.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, speaking of blast, we all should have received a blast, 5 days, a week ago, about the roster, that it's online, it's available. It is so easy to access. And that's where the information of the members are. That's the heart of us. So I do encourage everybody to download that membership roster, because it's there and it's easy. Password is artists with an S.
No
Okay?
capital.
No, yeah, all lowercase. Also, this is January, and it's time to renew membership if you haven't already. Memberships do require a form filled out. Where is Roberta? Where's Roberta? Do you have membership forms? Okay. Roberta does have the membership forms, and she's got them printed out. And all you have to do is fill it out, and you can write a check. And
Or you can join online
Or you can join online.
and pay through PayPal.
And that is available through the website, okay?
And we pick up the fees on that. You don't have to pay extra fees if you register online.
Okay. February, Art Challenge. You guys know what the Art Challenge is? Yes, everybody's shaking their head, yes, we know. The title is Have a Heart, okay? Do your best art, bring it and share it. That's our February meeting, which will be the second Monday, okay? Art Lunch. Art Lunch is this Thursday, noon, at the Burning Barrel, and that's in downtown Placerville on Main Street.
Across from the Independent.
Oh, okay, across from the Independent, so that's, you know, a little bit further up from the downtown. So that's Linnell's choice, so be there or be square. We are still looking at this point for a mother load chair.
That would be for our 2027 show.
But it would, as Linnell said, it's for our 2027 show, but the idea would be to come on board now, work very closely with Carolyn and with Sue Wickersham, who are chair and co-chair of the Mother Load, and they would guide you through. Okay, so if you're thinking you want to just jump in with both feet, just do it. Hey, that's Nike, huh? Just do it. Okay. All right. See how that comes up? Okay, we're also looking, and this is a little drum roll, we're also looking for a historian. Historian just gathers the information. Not much work involved at all, except that we require the historian to come to board meetings, which is the first Friday of every month at the Placerville Library. So if you're thinking you want to be a historian, I'm not looking at you, Shirley. It's fun.
The job is to primarily track the articles in the Mountain Democrat and create a scrapbook from those articles. And then occasionally we ask for a little bit of research about a past member. Marilyn's been very good at being able to do that because she's got a connection into a group of our older members, and she's been around for a number of years. But that part is not as important as just trying to trap everything that our fabulous publicity person, Sylvia Coleman, gets published in the Mountain Democrat and get it into a scrapbook so we have a permanent record of that happening. Marilyn has just started a second scrapbook because we were so successful, we filled the first one.
That's right. She made that announcement at the last board meeting. We're into our second scrapbook. But, you know, Sylvia Coleman and Marilyn have worked together because Sylvia does all of the publicity. So it's an easy peasy job, but it's fun because you're part of the board.
And Marilyn is moving down to Folsom. So it's making it up to the board meetings is getting to be a little bit more difficult than it has been for her.
Right. Okay.
See me if you're interested in either of those jobs.
Yeah, especially the mother load chair. Sue Davis asked to make the announcement that Joyce Martin is teaching oil on canvas classes. And if anybody is interested in signing up for one of Joyce's classes, you can see Sue, okay? Okay, we got that. There's also the prospectus for the plein air event. Tracy, is that competition event that's gonna be May 6th, and that prospectus.
May 9th.
May 9th?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. May 9th, and the prospectus is going to be in the newsletter next month, okay? Tracy, is there anything you want to say about the plein air competition?
Just that the registration opens on February 1st. The event itself is on Saturday, May 9th. And in addition to plein air artist painting, we'll have the art sale. So, we want people to participate, come out and see what our people are painting and buy art.
Yeah, and Tracy, there is a judge
Yes.
with this.
Yes.
And first year was last year,
Yes.
and it was immensely successful. And so we've decided, Tracy, at the helm, has decided to do it again this year. And it's, it's a challenge to you painters to just go out and do a painting and then bring it back and have it judged. It's pretty cool.
It's also a lot of fun. It's the only non-juried plein air competition in Northern California, so anybody, whatever your experience level, can come out and participate in the plein air competition, and it's fun.
And for those of you that have not plein air painted, Tracy will be our presenter at our March member meeting, and she'll be giving some tricks, tips, and pointers about the kind of equipment that you need for plein air and what you might expect at the competition.
Right.
And then in February at our member meeting, we'll have Steve Ellenberg talking about art festivals. Steve works art festivals quite a lot, and he is working on putting one together for Placerville Arts Association for 2027 that will partner up with the plein air event. That's our plans anyway. And so 2026, we have our second plein air competition happening on its own at Greenstone. And 2027, we're working on taking the plein air festival, rolling it up with an art festival, because nobody else is doing that. And we're still looking for the venue on that, but Steve will have more information about all of that for us in February.
But we want to focus the 2027 Art Festival in Placerville, okay?
This
That's,
could be really cool.
we're bringing Placerville up, right? We're elevating Placerville. Okay, Carolyn, I'd like Carolyn to talk a little bit about the member show.
Oh, I only get to talk a little bit?
A little. Well, you have, you've
I
got
got 10 pages worth. Tall people.
No, you're short.
Rude, Kathy.
Member show coming up, our spring member show is coming up. And by the way, everybody, a couple of people have mentioned the website. In case you don't know, placervillearts.com, because pretty much everything I'm going to tell you here that you're going to forget when you walk out of the room, you can find on placervillearts.com. Okay, Sylvia, our new webmaster, has put together a lovely bit about the upcoming spring show on the website, placervillearts.com. The spring show.
What is it?
It's the member show in the spring. It's April 6th through 10th. Same time, same bat location, Government Center in Placerville. Intake will be Monday, April 6th from 8 a.m. until 9:30 a.m. And we already have judges, which sometimes is the most difficult part of this, Joe and Paula Bellicera, who are very well known down the hill at the MACC and that general area. So it's a husband and wife team, and they said yes right away. Apparently they're hard to get, so must be me. So the show will be made based on media this time. Now in the fall we do subject matter, spring we do media. The categories are, and they're a little different this time, oil, acrylics and water-based media together, collage and mixed media together, pastel and drawing, photography, sculpture, miscellaneous, hold your questions, and we have a new category we're going to try. We're going to call it small works, and a small work is any, well not any, a piece of art that's 12 inches or less on its longest side including any framing, okay? So it can be any medium, and it can be any subject matter that they allow at the government center, no violence, no nudity. And if you have to ask, it's probably not okay, is what I've been told. Okay. If you have a piece that's 12 inches or smaller and you don't want to put it in small works, that's okay. You can still put it in your media category if you would like. But we're gonna judge the small works category all as, together. It's going to have to be two-dimensional work that can hang on the walls, so I'm sorry, Kathy.
It
When
has
we-
to hang on the
It has
wall.
to hang on the wall, okay? Sorry.
And here's a hack, if you do AI,
If you do
and you
that-
don't want to be judged in the miscellaneous category, print less than 12 inches and you can go into the small works category.
That's right. Now, if you are not sure, if you're thinking, well, what category is mine in? You can go online at
PlacervilleArts.com.
and go to the Spring Show link, or the Spring Show, and go to the link that's called, I believe it says Media Category Details. And it's this huge page that describes every darn thing you can possibly imagine. And if your work doesn't fall into any of those, it's probably miscellaneous. Okay? We still have nine pedestals. So if
Thank
if you think you're going to put 3D work in, sculpture, you need to see Kathy and reserve a pedestal, okay? I promise. Oh, I knew I wrote something down. Okay. You can also find on the website the entry rules and the entry form. Please, if you have the capability, download it, print it, fill it out, and bring it with you so we don't have to provide copies for you. This is not a juried show. You just show up with your work, a maximum of 4 items. It's $10 per item, and only one can be not for sale. If we do sell something from the show, PAA takes 25%, 25%, okay? When we do sell work, who sold last time? Sherry sold a piece last time, and Lori sold a piece. I've sold stuff. We've had sales out of the show.
Even I've sold stuff.
Even she has. So only one though can be not for sale, so if you only enter one and you don't want to sell it, it's not for sale. And if you enter 2 and you really don't want to sell either one, just put $1 million on the second one and that works.
Take a banana to it.
In addition to our new category of small works, we have also, ta-da, raised the monetary value of the awards. Instead of $50 for Best of Show, it's now $75, and I believe all of the others have gone up by $5. So it's been a long time since we raised any of our awards. And another new thing, the reception location. We're going to try something a little bit different. We've had some issues, even though the downstairs in that building is so gorgeous. The noise, the weddings, the this, that, the other thing.
Lack of seating.
Lack of seating. We're going to have the reception Friday afternoon, starting at 3:30, so come look at the art, and then come across to the other building, which is Building A, I think. The show is in Building B, Building A, and we're gonna be downstairs in a conference room. There's tables and chairs, and we can have food there, and we can make as much noise as we want. So all of this information will be provided for you, and I'll have signs in case you've forgotten where the reception is. I'm going to make a sign that says, go that way. Okay? Are there any? I can't believe there would be any. Are there any questions? Oh my goodness, Rita?
What's the website again?
Linnell.
That's for all of us.
I don't really have a question, I have a
Oh, of course.
statement. I'm adding to, we will post our volunteer openings
That's a good point.
about 6 weeks before the show.
Oh, 6
So
weeks,
that you
okay.
guys can go ahead and get your volunteer schedule put in. So we'll release a blast when that's up on signup.com.
Also, since I just looked at Sylvia, if you want the opportunity to have a piece of your art that's going to be in the show, you can send your image to Sylvia Coleman, and all of this is on the website. And she will collect the images. There's a deadline, I believe it was March 10th. right around there. Read the website. And she will submit her article to the Mountain Democrat and all of the images that you send her, and then it's up to them what to print. Okay. Last time we printed one that ended up not in the show, but
That always makes us sad.
that was a little, yes.
So mine was printed the year prior and it was sold before the show and I still put it in the show.
See? Did you hear her?
Yeah.
She's famous. All right, if you have any questions, you can ask me here or go to the website. Okay.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Oh, beads. We've already picked through some, but Tracy has brought some necklaces that have some, a couple of them have some really nice beads on them. If you like beads and jewelry and things, come look at them and take what you want. Yeah, do whatever you want with them. You don't want to see them at the thrift store.
Wait a second, a short person was up here. And thank you, Carolyn, for mentioning the pedestals. I was going to, but you know, why not? Carolyn did. If you do want a pedestal, we've got, hang on just a second, about 6 left, okay? So, let me know, okay?
5, I want one. Oh, look, I think you're all gone now.
Oh my
Okay.
God, look at all the hands
Let's
up.
see you.
Oh.
Okay, we, see me.
Yeah, stop by and
see
see Kathy
me,
before you leave.
Because I need this info, it's important. Okay. Well, okay. Everybody's got a sheet of paper at their desk, at their table, that is, don't worry, I'll go get it. The Paw Brigade, the Paw Brigade. A lot of you guys have seen the cats on the back table, huh? Yeah? Yeah, can I get a whoopee for that?
Oh, yeah.
You guys aren't cooperating. Okay. We've got a couple of ladies who are with the outreach of Motherlode Animal Rescue, who have assembled those cats. And I'm going to bring Rita Bartlett up to, did I say it right?
Bartell.
It's okay, I go,
You know what?
I like Bartlett.
We
I do. Sound like I'm famous.
We
Sound like
are
Bartlett.
streaming West Wing, and that is President Bartlett.
Oh,
And that's Martin Sheen. Has anybody seen West Wing?
I think that's more common than Bartell.
God, that is amazing. That's an amazing series. But that's why I said Bartlett,
That's
okay?
okay. I'm okay
President
with
Bartlett.
good with Bartlett.
It's Rita Bartell. I'm gonna bring Rita Bartell up, and she is going to introduce Nikki. And then we'll see what's going on, okay? So come on up, Rita. And are you short?
No,
You're good?
she's short.
Attitude is everything.
Well, Nikki started her artistic journey about 26 years ago, painting glass. There are many of us that have moved into the business world after wanting to be an artist, but we all go into the business world because we need to make money. So that's what Nikki did for a number of years. And then she circled back and got back into her art. She dabbled in clay and watercolors before falling in love with epoxy. She currently has a successful Etsy business where she has serving trays and what do you call it?
Charcuterie boards, cutting boards.
Thank you. That she sells and enjoys doing that. But because of her love of epoxy, she got her contractor's license and does countertops in kitchens and bathrooms or any other place that you might like to have some epoxy artistically done for you. So yeah, so that's quite a feat that she did with that. Then Nikki wanted to give back, so she got involved with animal outreach a couple of years ago because of her love of animals. And since then, she's been appointed to the board of directors as the fundraiser for animal outreach. So Nikki today comes with an idea for the Paw Brigade that takes place in May. And we're looking for local artists, like yourselves, to either paint your own thoughts about animals, or to collect one of our wonderful little kitties and work with that. So anyway, Kitty. Kitty
I'll go with that, yeah.
Kitty, Nikki,
Bartlett,
take over
Kitty,
now and tell you all
whatever
about
you
it.
want, we don't care. I'm Nikki, it's nice to be here today, yeah.
You've got 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, I need 5.
Well, we're good.
Oh,
that'll
yeah.
work.
Take whatever
It's-
time you need.
It's in a nutshell.
It's
Now,
open. It's
I'm going to
open.
show you what Rita did, a prototype for me to present to the board of directors, well, actually the fundraising team at Animal Outreach, with this concept of having, this whole thing is morphed into something bigger, which is exciting. But it started with, I saw something like this online. And because we have a budget of 0 in our fundraising efforts, and we've just purchased a new building that we need to renovate and bring attention to within the community and beyond, this woodworking artist, I asked her if she could do 40 of these, and she said yes. So I provided the wood, and they are underway. She provided me with 16 today, and when I picked them up from her this morning, we talked about incorporating dogs. It's not just cats, because people think of animal outreach. It's animal outreach, it's not kitty outreach, but we do a lot of work with cats. We need to educate the community that we also service dogs. We perform surgeries, dentals, we support Foothill Dog Rescue and the Humane Society of El Dorado County in their efforts in rescuing and saving animals. So this is growing, and she's going to do some dogs as well. I just don't have them, but you could sign up for one and I'll get one to you. But this is what Rita Bartlett did for me to present to the fundraising team as a sample. And I love how she put the little bow tie on him. And I have ideas for my kitty cat, but the artistic freedom, because they need to be unique. And so we want anybody interested in participating to have fun with these. It then morphed further into not just, this used to be called the Kitty Brigade. And then because there's going to be dog art included, and not just wood dog art, we're welcoming, again, this thing has morphed. We are welcoming clay sculptures, paintings, custom pet portraits, photography. So again, the page on the table, and I have a few more in the back if you didn't end up with one. Oh my goodness. Put that on your card.
Oh, no, don't worry.
I'm sorry.
It's class. Go for it.
But this kind of breaks it down, and if you're interested in participating, there is a sign-up sheet back there. I'll take your email and I'll send you a more detailed description of what's happening with this and the parameters of what we're looking for. But basically, this tells you what the mission of Animal Outreach is, and it talks about the fact that we did just buy a building that is twice the size of our current location. So we are expanding our services as well, and we've just hired on a new director of operations, and so we're gonna really be better equipped to serve the community and our four-legged friends within it. There's gonna be an artist reception on May 2nd, and there's a beautiful outdoor deck in El Dorado Hills, close to the El Dorado Saloon, very close to the El Dorado Saloon, and the owner of this deck is also a stager, a realtor, and an interior designer. So I am backing off and letting her do her magic in displaying this. She's really excited. A big animal advocate. So she's gonna do she has a 3,000 square foot warehouse of furniture to do her staging. So I'm meeting with her in a couple days and we're getting that in order. But so again, that's May 2nd, and that is the Saturday before the big day of giving, which is huge for us nonprofit organizations. It's kind of like, pick me. But now that we have purchased and secured this building, we're going to be renovating it. We're getting the floor plans this week. So we're going to be featuring that and talking a lot about that at this reception. So this reception is kind of to draw attention to what we're up to and create awareness. So of course, we're talking cat, and now it's morphed into dogs, and I was just, I just saw the cutest lion that, technically it's a cat, so he's in. You know, again, it's kind of like, this is just fun, and it's, you know, it doesn't have to be cat and animal, and the fun thing is we're trying to bring creativity and community together, and that's only possible through creative souls like yourselves. So again, that reception is going to be from noon to 6. This angel of ours has said that she would provide live entertainment, finger foods, cocktails, you know, so it's kind of it's basically a come and go. You don't stay for the 6 hours. There's really seating is, but it's kind of a come, see the art. At the beginning of the reception, which will start at noon, a live auction will be kicked off. Bidding begins at the start of the reception. So people are gonna come, they're gonna see, meet some of the artists. We are talking to Cheryl about judging from the MACC, about judging. So there will be a first, second, and third place, and honorable mention, and we may throw something else in there. This thing is May 2nd, and again, it's kind of just growing. It's fun to see this all come together and everybody be so excited about it. But yeah, so again, that I'm just kind of reading what's going on here, and that is on the page. You could take with you. Again, I can email more details if you're interested in participating. And then it just talks about the donation and partnership opportunities with anybody who wants to help out. And again, it's original works of art in the medium of your choice, or you can sign up for a cat or a dog. Not sure when the dogs will be ready, but again, they're in production as we speak. I walked out her front door and she went into the garage. So I'm asking that all art be returned by March 16th so that we can properly photograph it, stage it for photographing to promote this event. We're putting out a press release for this event, and I'm going to contact Good Day Sacramento. Hopefully they'll print up in the Mountain Democrat. So we're really going to kind of get the word out there. Maybe have a special guest there. I can't promise that, but I'll try. A recognized, you know, persona. I'm trying, but we don't need it though. It just adds more excitement. So yeah, the artists would be recognized in our social media, the newsletter, email blasts, and we're going to be promoting it like we've started to do with our bingo prizes, just kind of giving sneak peeks. So we'll be mixing it up, and if I can get them back sooner, I'll start staging them, and we'll just kind of do sneak peeks for people to go, what's that? And then we'll do another one, just kind of give them maybe a little portion of one, and just drive them crazy. They're going to want to see them in person. We ask that you name your creation, whether it be a clay or an original or work. I'm gonna venture to say that we may make this an annual thing based on the excitement this has generated so far. So I ask that you sign your piece on the back. I've put tape over this because Sondel branded them with her logo, and this wouldn't be possible without them. So I want to keep the logos visible, so just kind of work around it. But I want you to sign it and maybe put the -26, like, so that the year, because if it doesn't become an annual thing, people might start to collect them. So, so I ask that anybody who takes a kitty or a doggy do that. And if you are interested, my email is at the bottom of this sheet, and you can contact me with any ideas, suggestions, or questions. So, yeah.
Are we to return them here or to somewhere else?
To somewhere else, and I haven't designated that, but I'm a yes person and I will make it really easy. I'll come to you. Although they're trying to tell me, don't do that, you're gonna be running all over town, but that's okay. Or I could say, if people are up in this area, I could say bring it to animal outreach. Because I'm putting all the kitties in a big white mailer envelope, and I'm numbering them. So, and it's gonna correlate to the fact that you took number 4 just came in, and I'll know what that is. So I am down in Gold River, so I'm a little further away, but I'm coming up to the shelter all the time. So.
And the shelter's still at,
It's on Enterprise Drive.
Got it.
In
Okay.
Diamond Springs, and the new facility is a block away, and again, it's twice the space. It's going to be amazing. It's so exciting to really, to serve the community and the animals in it, so, any questions? Yeah.
You mentioned original artwork. I do AI. I create things using AI, and I have some series right now that are dogs or cats. So may I donate some AI to you?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, please. I'll get your information, and I'm writing down anybody who I have a sign-up sheet for these, but like I said, it's kind of turning into something else, and I'm trying to stay organized, so I put a separate sign-up sheet for other original works like
Okay.
that.
All right.
So, absolutely. See, this is
Sometimes
gonna be,
AI isn't welcome. I just wanted to make sure it's welcome. So.
It's welcome.
Okay, cool.
Yes, yes.
So it's not limited to just the wooden clay or something?
No, because Steve's going to give a lion.
Yeah. Oh my, they are, and it's so cute, the lion on his card. So cute, and it's like, I love the idea. Yes, yes, yes. And, yeah, any medium. Rita does beautiful clay kitty cats. She does all kinds of different stuff. So it started with this concept, and then through suggestions and ideas and the inclusion of dogs, because I'm always the one going, nobody knows we work with dogs. And here I'm doing a kitty brigade. It's like, well, no wonder they don't know you do, you work with dogs. So, yes, dogs, yeah, absolutely. We need to make people aware of that. They don't know that, again, we work with, Foothill Dog Rescue and the Humane Society come to us for their low-cost services, and a lot of those coming from their direction, most of those are dogs. So we need to create awareness for that, and the fact that we're growing and we need the community support. And we're gonna have fun doing it.
So.
Yes. Wait.
You may want to mention about vaccine clinic for cats and dogs, which is much cheaper than going to your own vet.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, we do it, and how do we do it? It's a nonprofit, so we're like, help, So yeah, so we are out there shouting from the rooftops, creating awareness, because it was a call for donations 2 years ago, and I met Lori, because doing what I do, I've got boards all over the place, cutting board, charcuterie stuff, whatever. I'm like, here, I'd love animals, yes. And then I donated again last year, and just, yeah, sure. So that's kind of what, and here I am. But yeah, I had never heard of animal outreach, and now they're the more we give the media to talk about, the more people kind of go, oh, now we're doing a bowling tournament. We've been doing successful bingos. We're kind of switching things up. I've done some boot scoot scavenger hunts down in Folsom and here in Placerville. And again, just making connections, and from those connections come the other, it's this web, and I'm really having fun with it and meeting the coolest people. So, and this was born again through connections, and I thought, the kitty, Sondel, could you? Yes. 40, yes. Dogs, okay. And so here we go. it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I showed Rita's image that she sent me of the kitty that you have painted already to a woman in my poker club who is just a cat nut. And she said, "Oh, I saw this last time and I didn't see it in time and I didn't get one and I definitely want to go and bid this time." So there is excitement in the community. People felt like they didn't get it last time, they want it this time. And get some flyers and we'll start passing them out too, you know, and putting it on our Facebook group about the event itself.
Okay, our media person just put together, I don't know if she's even posted it today. She said she was gonna get it out this week, so it's going on our social media so that we can all kind of share if you could. Okay. So that we can all start posting and sharing it, but she's getting it out. Hopefully it'll be up by the time I get home.
Good.
If not, then tomorrow or the next day, but she's on it. She sent me something for approval over the weekend. So, and we needed to, again, tweak things, because now we're not doing it on a Thursday, we're doing a 6-hour on a Saturday. Now, dogs, yes, other stuff, yes, clay, paint, what, you know, canvas. So, we keep tweaking it a little bit, but we're sticking to that date because that's a Saturday before the big day of giving. And before you get into Mother's Day and the heat and all this. And the venue is gonna remain the same. Maria is running with that ball, and she is just an angel for offering everything that she has, so again, any further questions? Yes?
Well, I just wanted to mention, you are gonna also have somewhere around 5 o'clock, you're gonna have the awards for
the awards will be mentioned, and
for
then
the
they will be put up on the, because at 5 o'clock, if the auction is starting at noon, people aren't gonna know first, second, and third, so they'll be like kind of tuning in at 5 o'clock to go, okay, that one got first, what honorable mention, it'll just generate more excitement, but yes.
And you will have all the originals will be displayed at the event as well.
Oh, yeah.
She's got a lot of display area, both outside and inside, to display all the.
Yes, we're welcome to go into her offices as well as the outdoor deck. And again, they're putting a huge charcuterie thing together. So it's kind of come grab a drink, some finger foods, see the auction items, and they'll be live online.
Cool. She's gonna get a lot of exposure.
So are you planning to do, like, you're gonna auction something off at noon, or are you gonna kick the auction off, have online bidding, and then have it close at the end of the evening?
It's gonna close on the 10th.
Okay.
So they're coming to see it in person.
Okay.
And we're gonna have fun out there for 6 hours. And then the bidding will continue, and through the big day of giving, which will again draw kind of more attention to this whole thing.
Okay. All right.
And so the bidding, because I've seen other online bids, bidding, auctions, and so I didn't want it to be such a short window.
Okay.
Because then we're gonna have pictures post-event that we'll be able to continue promoting.
Well, and you'll know who the winners are too by then, which may bid some of those pieces as well. And that's good, because my poker game starts at 5 o'clock on Saturday, so I could not be there.
Okay. No. The photos from the event itself, of the artists with their creations, just the spread Maria's gonna put out, just all of it, and everybody out on this deck having fun.
I can come have fun before 5 o'clock.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
It starts at noon. So,
Perfect.
So we're gonna have a template built in so that we can, the pictures are ready, plug them in, post.
Wonderful.
And keep posting all week long.
Yeah, but that's good. I think
celebrating.
you'll get more money that way for the items by leaving it up longer and generating the enthusiasm. Very good plan.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And welcome to suggestions. But yeah, so that's the idea. So I'm gonna be sitting in the back afterwards, and you can come and take a cat, or let me know that you're interested in a dog, and I'll put you down, and the minute I pick them up, I'll be calling you. Or texting, whatever you prefer.
Cool.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We done, Kathy?
Yeah, and we're done, guys.